Okay, today on Wicked Good Eats, we're gonna do up a traditional Italian gravy. Start off with 4 cans of kitchen-ready tomatoes. Okay, if you want a bigger sauce, you want to use 6 cans, but I'm going to use these fresh tomatoes that I saved from the garden. So, because I'm using the fresh tomatoes, which tend to have a little bit more water in them, I'm going to do 2 cans of tomato paste. Okay, you're going to need some breadcrumbs. Artichoke hearts, I'm going to show you where those come into play later. I have a nice pork tenderloin, sweet Italian sausage if you like a hot sausage. Okay, you want some nice garlic, you can use fresh. This caprese minced garlic is very good, so I'm just going to use that. You need some extra virgin olive oil, some burgundy wine, 1 tablespoon of sugar, which helps cut down the acid in the tomato, but you don't want to use too much sugar. That'll sweeten the sauce. You just want enough to put in there to cut down the acid. You need some oregano leaves, some coarse black pepper, some bay leaves, and some basil. The start of the sauce, traditional sauce, is salt pork. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is prep our salt pork. And basically, what you're going to do is just go, don't cut all the way, just up to the skin, and about, ½ inch or so, like such, right? And this will allow the salt pork to render quicker, and won't take as long. We have our salt pork in the pot. You can hear that starting to sizzle there. It's on low to medium. You don't want to use a high heat because that'll burn it, and then you get that burnt flavor to it. So you can't rush the gravy. Cannot rush the gravy. So to help render that down, we're going to add 1/3 cup of olive oil. Okay, so we're getting there. As you can see, that's starting to reduce down, starting to render. And that's what the difference is between a sauce and a gravy. A gravy is made from meat renderings, and a sauce has no meat renderings in it. So that's why they call it marinara sauce, is when you just use the olive oil and you don't use a salt pork or put any other meatballs or sausage in it. So it's time to make the meatballs. So right now I have a ½ cup of pecorino romano grated up nice. I got some fresh parsley, 3 eggs, and I'm going to be using 3 cups of breadcrumbs. That's usually about, the rule is 1 egg and 1 cup of breadcrumbs per pound. Seems to come out right. Drain them, and we're going to puree that up. That's going to add some moisture and flavor to the meatballs. They come out phenomenal. So we'll get started. I'm going to get this meatball started. So as you can see, you got 3 pounds of hamburger in there, and I'm going to add the pureed up artichoke hearts, the ½ cup of pecorino romano, then we're going to get our nice Italian style breadcrumbs, and like I said, we're going to do about 3 cups. Then we have our 3 eggs, so we're going to go in and add those. You don't have to scramble them up because we're going to make. Okay, then we have some fresh parsley. That's about a tablespoon's worth, and just drizzle that in there. And we got some oregano, and you just want to sprinkle a little bit on the top of that. Not a lot, because you're going to have the oregano in the gravy. Okay, same thing with the black pepper, just a little sprinkle over the top. Okay, same thing on the basil. Let's sprinkle that over the top. Okay, salt. Gonna probably want to put about a tablespoon of salt, and I'm using sea salt, so you can use regular salt. Add our garlic. Okay, so we got our nice garlic, and 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of garlic. And we can show you what that looks like before we mix it. So you can see that's going to make quite a good amount of meatballs, and that's what we want. Okay, so our salt pork is pretty much rendered down, and you can see how much of that rendering we have in the pot. We got all our meatball mixture done, all mixed up good, so we'll start making the meatballs soon. But now we're going to start working on our gravy. Our garlic, 1, 2, 3 tablespoons. Stir that around in. Smell that garlic. Okay, want to take your tomato paste. Open each side of the can. Okay, push it through, just like a rocket pop. Remember when you used to have a rocket pop? You used to push up from the bottom with a stem. Just be careful you don't cut your finger. Okay, take the top off. Then you can actually use the spoon to push it through. Okay, and that way you don't have to go digging it out. And then you just want us to start working it around. Let it work around. Let it heat up a little bit. And once it's kind of mixed in with all that oil and the garlic, then we're going to add our wine. Okay, so you can see that kind of incorporated all that tomato paste in there. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 cup of red wine. I just use a nice Burgundy, a Colorasi. You can use any type of red wine you like. Alright, so now we have our cans of kitchen ready tomatoes. Just going to take the covers off. Okay, and then just pour it right in. It's going to splash a little bit, so you probably want to get low. That way you'll get it on your nice white shirt. Okay, so that's what it looks like, depth-wise. Doesn't look like a big pot of gravy yet, but we haven't added the meat. The meat's going to bring it all the way up to the top. So, seems to come out better, but you just want to grab a palm's full. You know, you can make bigger meatballs, smaller meatballs. All depends on the size of the meatball you like. And I usually make them like medium to large. And then just place it in. Okay, we're waiting for the oven to get to 350, so this is what our meatballs look like. Alright, our oven's at 350, so we're going to set the kitchen timer to 20 minutes. Salt pork is reducing some more. And open that up. 1. 2. Okay, we got a nice hot pan going, and we're going to put some of our meats in there. And like I said, you probably want to go about 30-45 seconds aside. And give that a turn. Let it turn. That's just about what you want, just enough to peel the outside. And that kind of helps hold the meat together also, so it doesn't fall apart. And again, if you like lamb, if you don't like lamb, you can do without it. I like the lamb because the nice lamb piece is ready. Later on, this will just fall right off the bone, and then you can just take the bones out. So, and just drop them in like such. Lamb and our pork loin. Push that right down into the gravy. Heat. You don't need high heat for the sausage because that's got the skin on the outside, so you don't need to sear it. But there is one thing with the sausages, okay, is just poke a couple of holes in them, each side. That allows the juice and the oils from inside the sausage to seep out. Alright, so now we got our holes poked in the sausage. You don't need a lot, just a couple of jabs each side. Okay. Okay, so the sausages are just about there. Okay. After a few minutes, put them right in. Hey, look at that, the meatballs are ready. Got those in there. So the meatballs are ready, as you can see. They're kind of sizzling on the outside, but they're not cooked on the inside. So that's good. That's what you want. That'll hold the meatball together in the gravy. And we just gently drop them in. Okay, so we got the meatballs in there. Now the trick is, again, you don't want to jam the meatball down into the sauce. So you just want to slowly go in between them, and they'll settle in until they firm up on weight. That's all you want right now. Okay. So you go over nice and easy. Now we're got a bowl to put all of our good stuff in. So again, 1 tablespoon of sugar. That is not to sweeten the gravy. That is just to cut the acid in the tomato. 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley. Bay leaf. For a big pot like this, I'd say 2. A smaller sauce, you only need 1. Sweet basil. 1 tablespoon. Black pepper, 1 teaspoon. Don't want a lot of pepper, but you want some in there. Oregano, 1 teaspoon. Oregano is pretty harsh. You don't need a lot. So, and last but not least, salt. And I'm using sea salt. Okay, 2 tablespoons. Okay, and that's pretty much it, folks. So that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna add that in, sprinkle it over the top. Got a nice old wooden spoon, and again, don't press it down in. Protect those meatballs. Just kind of work it around until it gets in. Another 15 minutes, give it another turn, and then this is going to slow cook 4 to 6 hours. So after 6 hours of cooking, and we shut it down, we let it cool down for a couple of hours. She's ready, so we'll get Wolfie in here to get his treat. Here you go, buddy. Oh, yeah, he likes it. Licking that meatball, Wolfie? Yeah. Ooh, those eyes. Big. It's a winner. He's digging it. Enjoy, everybody. Alright, so after you take your gravy and your meat and you divvy it all up, as you can see, you could get 6 good meals out of this.